With the driver of the fast track machine, Andy Hillenberg. Andy, welcome to Kare.
Oh, thanks. It's nice to be here. This racetrack definitely looks exciting.
You come in here in real good shape in the points and with a Daytona win under your belt.
Yeah, it's been a big year for us so far. We've had a first, a fifth, a couple of sixth-place finishes, and you know, it's got us into the point lead, and now we're the rabbit. A few other guys are off chasing us, so hopefully we can stay in front of them.
This has been a growing series this year. The ARCA Mondo Marhide Supercar Series. We got a huge field of cars here today. Has that been the case throughout the series so far?
Yeah, it has. This series, it gives you some great experience at some of the tracks the Winston Cup cars run on, some great short track experience, and ARCA series seems to be getting a lot of great exposure because of the competitiveness of the racing.
You have a history that includes some dirt track racing with sprint cars, I do believe.
Yeah, that's where I got started. The first car I ever had, I built one when I was in high school, was a sprint car, and I started racing over in Indiana. I was born and raised in Indianapolis and raced over throughout here in Indiana and Ohio on the dirt tracks, and made the switch over to pavement, about 6 or 7 years ago.
How would you compare the two?
I'd love to race the pavement in the daytime and the dirt at night.
Well put. Andy, good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Talking now with Jody Kare, the driver of the J.D. Dankin construction car number 13. Jody, welcome back to Kare.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Glad to be home.
You had a sudden end to your run last year in the second race in July with the turn 3 wall.
Yeah, we found a cement wall down there, and it's thick and it's hard.
You ran pretty good down at Pensacola.
Yeah, we had a good run going. We got down there in practice, and the car wasn't hooked up very good. It's not our short track car, so we had to work with it a little bit, get it going, and the guys worked their tail off, and they done a super job and got it going good, and qualified 6th, and we was running 6th or 7th in the race, and somebody spun in front of us, and there's one of them deals where I thought we were going to get through it. We just clipped him a little bit, but it was enough to put us out.
Have you been out on the track so far today?
Yeah, we've been out once. We're not going too good. I don't think we're going to be that far off, but I think we'll get it dialed in. We'll be all right.
What's the secret to getting around this place in a hurry on a long race? It's 150 laps.
Well, one of the things, you got to have the car set up to where you're comfortable. You got to stay smooth. If the car's not working and you're all over the track, somebody's just gonna eat you up. You got to be a little conservative, but the main thing is try to stay smooth and stay out of trouble.
Jody, good luck tonight.
Thank you. We need it.
Talking now with Bob Doddsey, driver of the Numerics Unlimited car. Bob, first of all, welcome to Kare.
Thank you very much.
What makes a seemingly sane, rational individual who's the president of his own company take up auto racing in the ARCA Supercar Series?
Well, I decided after watching Winston Cup so much, and I used to be a drag racer, I'd just like to get back and get into speed again. This is my first time here at Kare.
Have you had a chance to get out on the track yet?
Not yet. We're going to try to go out on the next practice. My main goal is just to try to qualify, even if I'm in the back of the pack.
This has been a very interesting series this year. Nobody's been really dominant. The car count's been exceptional. We've got 34 cars, I believe, pre-signed in to run today here at Kare. What's making this series so popular?
Well, it's the only series that the cars are just exactly like Winston Cup. I think that's the main thing that's doing it. And you don't have all the expensive Winston Cup, yet it's not cheap.
What are you looking for your team tonight?
Well, our main goal is just to get qualified in the race, go out and get some time on the track, and just to be able to get some experience. That's what I'm trying to do this year, just gain experience.
What have you learned so far?
Well, so far I learned how to do a really bad crash at Talladega with 9 other cars, and just to get main experience. It's a really nice bunch of guys. It's not like a lot of racing. Here, everybody tries to help everybody else out until you get on the track and go racing. Then it's everybody for themselves.
Good luck this evening.
Thank you.
Talking now with Frank Himmel, the driver of the Papa John's Pizza-sponsored number 02 machine. Frank, welcome back to Kare.
Thanks a lot. I'm glad to be back.
You've been out on the track. How's it feel out there?
Well, the car looks real good, and it seems to be running pretty good, and the track's as well kept as always, so I'm glad to be back. It's been a lot of fun.
You finished second in the points last year in an outstanding campaign. How are things going for you this year?
Well, we started out really well, and we kind of run out of funds there right before Talladega, and so now we got our Papa John sponsorship, and so we're trying to get back caught up and see if we can get back up in the top.
This has been a growing series this year. I believe we've got 34 cars on the list for this one today. What's making this series so popular this year?
I really don't know. I tell you what, it's a good series, and it's not so terribly expensive as some of the other traveling series. So I think the guys see it as a good avenue to get some hard, heavy cars to get around a little quarter mile like this. So it's a good experience.
What are you looking for the Papa John's team tonight?
Well, I tell you, we ran good here last year both times and had a little trouble both times. So I'm thinking we're going to go out and try to get a good finish and hopefully put this thing up front.
Best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate you coming over.
Talking now with the most recent winner on the ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar Series. Bob, congratulations on Pensacola, first of all.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
You come in second in the points in the series so far. Good run.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're not serious about the points just yet. We're just kind of trying to race to win and see what happens. Let the point thing fall as it will.
You were a long-time competitor in this series. It's been referred to by a lot of people as a stepping stone to the Winston Cup cars, perhaps, the Busch Grand National. But there are guys like you who have been in this series for a good long time, and I guess the quick reason is why?
Well, it's the Winston Cup Busch thing. I mean, that's the place you want to be, but it costs a lot of money to be there, and if you don't have the right money to do it, the sponsorship and stuff, well, then you got to come run ARCA because it costs a little less and basically the same kind of cars and some of the same racetracks and stuff like that. So it's a good place to keep yourself sharp, I guess. From
what I'm also saying, the quality of the teams and the drivers continues to get better and better with each passing year with the ARCA Series.
Well, I'll say, there was not too long ago that I could win 2-3 races a year with basically no problem, but I mean, this is Pensacola was the first race I've won in a couple years since I won at Pocono. So the caliber of the teams, the personnel, the equipment is all stepping right up along with everything else.
What are you looking for from the engineered components team tonight?
Well, Kare isn't a real good racetrack for me. I would imagine if we can have a good race and come out of here basically with 4 wheels and tires, I think we've done good.
Best of luck tonight, Bob.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Talking now with the defending champion of the ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar Series, our good friend Bobby Bowser. Bobby, welcome back to Kilcare.
Nice to be here, Dick.
How's the racetrack feel today?
It's a little bit, it seems like it's pretty abrasive. All the rain we've had here the last few days. It's good and tacky, so we just have to wait and see what's going to happen here this afternoon. We're going to put some new skins on this Ford and see what happens.
You come in 7th in the points in the series so far. It's still early in the season, but you concerned at all about that?
No, not really. I figure the next three races in a row, maybe 4 races, will tell the story on the championship this year on what's going to happen. But there's plenty of races left to run, and we just have to get our momentum built back up and see what we can do here tonight.
There seem to be more cars, more quality cars, and more quality drivers with each passing year in this series.
There sure is. All you got to do is look up and down through here, all the cars we got here today, and you're definitely exactly right. The competition's tough, and it seems like it's tougher every year. But, looking back a few years ago is the names that used to be here, like Keselowski and Strait and all of them, it's just hard. It kind of lets you know just how long you have been running here, and we've been here a long time, it seems like.
What are you looking for tonight out of the Quality Farm and Fleet team?
Well, we just need to stay out of trouble and run up on the front, and we just need to build some momentum. So hopefully at the end of the night we'll have this Quality Farm and Fleet Ford Thunderbird up there in Victory Lane talking to you.
I was going to say, if you make it to that point, you'll be talking to me again.
That's right, yep.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, Dick.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of At the Track, focusing on the Bill Eubank Memorial ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar 150 at Kilcare Speedway. Hi, I'm Dick Roberts. The voice you just heard, that of Bobby Bowser, 2-time and defending ARCA Supercar Series champion, has very fond memories of this racetrack. It is where he ran his first ARCA Supercar event. Was also the scene of a very emotional victory last July that helped propel him to his 2nd consecutive ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar Series championship. As the field ready to get underway, Miss ARCA in the pace truck. And we go down to Pat Eubank for those famous words.
Start your engine.
Gear goes up. The youngsters head for the remaining good spots in the grandstands. We bring the engines to life and get ready to go racing for 150 laps at the Bill Eubank Memorial. Here's your starting lineup. On the pole, your fast qualifier, car number 21, the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser. Outside the front row, car number 02, he finished 2nd in the points a year ago, Jeffersonville, Indiana, the Papa John's Pizza Oldsmobile, Frank Kimmel. Second row on the inside, most recent winner on the Supercar Series, Bob Schacht in the 75 car. The Engineered Components Buick. Outside, car number 05, Doug Reed from Hueytown, Alabama, the Long Lewis Ford. Third row on the inside, Randy Churchill, second-generation racer from Canada. Outside, in the Riverside Auto Parts machine, the one car, that is Marvin Smith. Smith has turned a lot of laps at Kare Speedway over the years in many different kinds of race cars. Row 4 on the inside, car number 55, Don LeDuc. Outside, car number 9, Eric Smith. And we move back to row number 5 in the starting field for the Bill Eubank Memorial. The 11 car, Andy Hillenberg. Hillenberg, your winner in the Daytona ARCA 250 earlier this year. Car number 12 on the outside, Roger Blackstock. That's your 5th row for the starting field. Moving back to row number 6 now. Jeep Bloom in the 58 car. Outside, car number 13, Jody Guerra. Jarrett crashing very hard in the July race 1 year ago here at Kare Speedway. 7th row, Bob Hill on the inside at car number 46. Outside the 25, longtime ARCA campaigner Billy Venturini. And that is Bill E, not Bill, Bill E Venturini. Scott Neal in the 24, the 00 car is Chet Blanton. That's row number 8. Moving back to row number 9, Mark Gibson on the inside in the 7 car. Outside, Glenn Brewer in the 10. Speaking of 10s, row number 10, Dill Whittemore in the 56. Outside, Mike Fritz in car number 88. Row number 11, Jeff McClure in car number 89. Outside the 49 of Kenny Brown from Cincinnati. Row number 12 for the Bill Eubank Memorial is Barry Tripp in the 6 car. The 14 car is Tim Freeby. Row number 13, the 52, Ed Dixon. The 57 car, John Stratman. And finally, row number 14, car number 46, Bob Hill on the inside. The 33 car, Harris Devane on the outside. White flag has already been given to the field. They'll bunch up and get ready to go racing next time down to the stripe. 28 cars starting the Bill Eubank Memorial 150. Lights out on the pace truck. It pulls to the infield. Field comes down for the green flag. A nice slow pace, bunched tightly together. Very professional looking ARCA Supercar start, and there it is, green flag, we are underway. Bobby Bowser using that pole position to advantage, jumping out to the early lead. The 02 car, Frank Kimmel, runs right behind. Third coming down past the stripe, it is the 44 car, I believe that is, Randy Churchill. And those positions obviously will change a good bit as the evening rolls along. Guerra going by in the yellow, J.D. Daggett number 13, and there is trouble in the backstretch right at the entrance to turn number 4. We've got one car turned around backside 2. Another car stopped, and we will go yellow at only, I believe, about 1.5 laps complete. But the laps do continue to count under the yellow flag for the ARCA Supercar Series. There's a good look at the way the pit road sets up at Kare Speedway. Basically, pit road is the 5th mile track that is inside the full 3/8 mile oval. And there's what happens in close quarters racing. The 69 car with some serious right front damage. That is Todd Kuhn in the Mid-City Truck Repair Chevrolet, who conveniently heads right down into the access to the pits. He'll roll in, try to get some service on that machine. You see, lots of steam and smoke coming out of the 88 car of Mike Fritz, the Finney Racing Olds. He may very well be done for the night. Overheating at this early stage of the race, not a good sign at all. Crew going to work on Todd Kuhn's number 69. Going up on the 88 machine of Mike Fritz. Field continuing to circulate under the caution flag. Also in, and I believe peripherally involved in that shunt in the backstretch, was the 10 car. That's Glenn Brewer, the Roadworks C&R Lewandowski Oldsmobile. Little consultation with the crew, and he heads back out onto the racetrack. Pace truck goes by, lights still on, so we will go at least one more lap before we turn them loose and pick things up with the ARCA Supercar 150 Bill Eubank Memorial. Lights just went out on the pace car, as I said that, so that's the white flag, and they will pick it back up to green next time by. You will notice that the cars have already formed up too wide at the front of the pack by the ARCA short track racing rules. Cars on the lead lap start on the outside. Cars that are 1 or more laps down to the leader restart on the inside. In this case, it's the 25 car of Billy Venturini from Concord, North Carolina. I mentioned that in the lineup, that is Billy Venturini's. That is the son of longtime and former ARCA champion Bill Venturini. It is the Venturini Racing Chevrolet. Apparently there was some last-minute debris, I believe is what that was, that caused the lights on the base truck to come back on for one more white flag lap before we turn them loose and turn them back to green. There you see the one car going by, Marvin Smith from Asheville, the Riverside Auto Parts Chevrolet. Marvin Smith has his place in the ARCA record book. In fact, he still holds the all-time record for Talladega pole positions in qualifying with 31. Next active driver has now moved on to other things. Bob Keselowski at 26, Bob Schacht at 13, Bill Venturini at 12, Bob Straight with 10, Lee Raymond with 9. Yep, same Lee Raymond that runs in modifieds every Friday night at Killcare Speedway. Followed by Bob Dotter, Charlie Glotzbach, Ben Hess, Dave Weltmeyer, and Bobby Bowser. Currently tied for 8th in those Talladega pole positions with 6 as of the time this was printed. With this one, he goes to 7 and then ties with Bob Dotter for the 7th position in the all-time qualifying list. Venturini back into the pits once again for service. As the leader, Bobby Bowser, the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird, rolls by on the outside. As I recall from this stage of the evening, what we had was a succession of yellow flags because of debris that simply turned up. We're not sure if it was coming off some of the race cars who may have been involved in that early shunt, or if a couple of them perhaps may have dropped some automotive oops, as we so affectionately call it on the racetrack. That was the reason for the succession of yellow flags early in the race. We more than made up for it. Coming up, you will find a very, very long run of green flag racing at Killcare Speedway. But on the restart, it is Bowser out front, then Frank Kittle, then the 75 car of Bob Schacht. And there we're back at it. The green flag is underway. Smith, there's Kare going by in the 13 car. Leaders coming back into turns 3 and 4. Bowser, Kimmel, Schacht, 1, 2, 3. Smith runs 4th. And the 44 car of Randy Churchill runs 5th at this stage in the race. Single file all the way around. Front 2 breaking away by about 5 car lengths. And the battle continues now for the 3rd spot. Smith down low on the inside, trying to work his way around the 75 car of Bob Schacht. At this stage of the race, Marvin Smith had a real horse under him, perhaps for the first time in some time. Very strong car, qualified quite well, as you can see by his position on the starting grid. And as you can also see, lap traffic already becoming a factor in the form of the 14 car of Tim Creepy from Flint, Michigan. Everybody working around him on the high side. There goes the 12 car of Roger Blackstock, the 13 of Jody Guerra. Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser out front. Two-time and defending ARCA Supercars Series champion going into the 1995 season. Bobby, of course, the son of a famous racing father, and other family members for that matter. Bobby got his first ride in an ARCA Supercar, literally, when the deal between his father, Jack, and the hired driver who was driving the family race car at the time went sour just before the team came into Killcare. Bobby jumped in the car. At his first time in any race car, as a matter of fact, he had been a crewman up to that point and hasn't gotten out of the driver's seat since. 6 car looping around through the grass. That's Perry Tripp from Fredericktown, Missouri. And you will notice he stays down long enough that we don't even miss a beat. We stay green and the race continues. And you will notice as this race continues to evolve just how close together these ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar drivers will get, but the contact is more minimal than you might believe. Yeah, you'll see lots of cars with the black biscuit marks on the side from a little tire contact during the course of the evening, but you will see 3 wide racing several times during the course of this event, side by side, and they managed to pull it off without putting anybody in the concrete wall. Bowser still out front of the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird. Another car moving very slowly there. Didn't catch the number as it went by. But that will bring out a caution flag. We had oil on the racetrack, I believe, at this point. Oil or perhaps antifreeze, either way. Some liquid escaped from one of our ARCA Supercars. And that's not something you want to have at this stage of the race, obviously. Pace truck once again pulls out, picks up the leader, who is still at this point in the race, Bobby Bowser in the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird. Then 02, Frank Kimmel in the Papa John's Pizza Olds. 44 car of Randy Churchill, the Great Northern Beaver Express Chevrolet. Bob Shack of Chapin, South Carolina, the Engineered Components Buick. Shack, the most recent winner on the ARCA Supercar circuit, taking the victory at Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. That was the last event before the Supercars came in here to Kare Speedway. Trouble at this point. You don't want to be putting the hood up in the pit area on a short track race like Kare. That usually spells the end of the evening, or at least the end of your move up through the field, if indeed you were making one at that point. Once again, cars one or more laps down, lining up on the low side of the racetrack. Cars on the lead lap, lining up on the outside of the racetrack. And we take it back to green next time past the start-finish line. You are struck in walking through the pits at an ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar event at the level that the cars have reached. A few years ago, you would expect to see some perhaps taped together automobiles, ones that were not the best appearing. That's no longer the case in the ARCA Supercar series. The quality of the machines, the quality of the drivers seems to get better with each passing year. Green flag, and we're back underway for the Bill Eubank Memorial at Kare Speedway. There's what I was talking about. 3 wide racing through turn 2, and nobody touched anybody. Wow. Bowser still out front of the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird. Here comes a side-by-side battle. Marvin Smith working his way around the outside of the 05 car of Doug Reed. At the front it remains Bowser, Kimmel, Marvin Smith still holding third, and Bob Shack in the 75 car. Front pair moving way out on the rest of the field now. Already back into turn 4. Kimmel right in the tire tracks of Bowser. Smith holds down third. 2 wide, sweeping back through turns 3 and 4. Back down to the stripe once again. Bowser, Kimmel. Smith still runs third. Bob Shack runs fourth. You cannot see him in the front pack at this stage of the race, but keep your eyes out for car number 11, the Fast Track Chevrolet of Andy Hillenberg. Hillenberg, of course, your winner at Daytona for the Daytona ARCA 250. This was his first time at Kare, and he is a very, very quick study. You will notice as the race continues, that car continues to move up through the serial and finishes very, very strong at the end. Andy Hillenberg, in fact, coming in with the points leader in the ARCA Supercar Series. On the racetrack, the action continues. Bowser at the front of the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird, followed by the 02, the Papa John's Pizza Olds of Frank Kimmel. And then Marvin Smith from the Riverside Auto Parts Chevrolet, the red number 1. Got a glimpse of him going by there. There's Shack. There's the 05 of Doug Reed. Shack to the Engineered Components Buick. Putting all kinds of heat on Marvin Smith in the Riverside Auto Parts number 1. Leader working his way through heavy, heavy traffic down the back stretch. Around the outside of the 10 car of Glenn Brewer. Lots more traffic straight ahead. Bowser in the 21 car, the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird. Working his way around the 57 car of John Strathman. As the third spot changes hands, Shack with the low side pass gets by Marvin Smith. Shack moves up to third in the 75 car, the Engineered Components Buick. Leader continues to work his way through traffic. Bobby Bowser, Frank Kimmel right behind. Trouble for the 58 car of Jeep Flume, the Mountain Dew Oldsmobile, parked in the pits and out. Laps continuing to wind by in the Bill Eubank Memorial ARCA Supercar 150, and no change at the front. It is still Bowser, Frank Kimmel right there, And look at Bob Shack move up as the leaders try to work their way through traffic. Shack now right on the back bumper of the 02 car of Frank Kimmel. Working past the 57 car of John Stratman as they work their way back into turn 3. And still more traffic straight ahead. If you can't work traffic, you're in big trouble in a stock car race in Kildare, especially a long one, because lap traffic will be a factor from about lap 5 on. And it never gets much easier. .05 car, Doug Reed. There's the 11 machine of Andy Hillenberg. Once again, quietly working his way up through the field. Wasn't flashy, wasn't spectacular, but he was very steady, and he seemed to get quicker as the evening rolled along. The inaugural running of the Bill Eubank Memorial at Kildare Speedway. Bowser, Kimmel, working their way through traffic. Bob Shack sits third, Marvin Smith fourth. Working their way around the low side. I believe that's the 24 car of Scott Neal, in fact. Low side pass on the 33 car of Harris Devane. And those four still run tight together. Bowser with just about a 2-car length lead. But that's all. 02 Frank Kimmel still second. Shack still third. Marvin Smith holding down fourth. Nose to tail through turn 4, back down to the stripe once again. Series points as they came into Kildare tonight. Andy Hillenberg the leader at 840. Bob Shack on the strength of that win at Five Flag Speedway, second in points at 810. Third, Mike Wallace at 720. Then Bob Hill at 705. Glenn Brewer fifth at 700. Frank Kimmel sixth in points at 685. Then Bobby Bowser seventh in points at 665. Harris Devane at 625. Gary Bradbury at 545. And Dill Whittemore 10th in points in the Supercar Series at 540 as they came in tonight. Front 4, no change. Still working their way through traffic. It's still the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser at the point. And Frank Kimmel in the Papa John's Pizza Oldsmobile. The Engineered Components Buick of Bob Schacht. And the Riverside Auto Parts Chevrolet of Marvin Smith, 1 through 4. Good long stretch of green flag racing in the midsection of this event. And the laps went by in a hurry. But very little changed during this section of racing, as you can notice. Bowser, Kimmel, Shack, and now a little ways back to Marvin Smith. And I believe Marvin's tires were about to give him some problems at that point. Car did definitely seem to slow up at about this stage of the race. But at the front, it's still Bowser, Kimmel, Shack, 1, 2, and 3. About a car length apart down the back stretch and back into turn number 3. Supercars on the first of their 2 annual visits to Kildare Speedway. They're back for another event in July, another 150 lapper. Perhaps the most diverse series in all of stock car racing, the ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar Series includes short tracks such as Kildare Speedway. These same cars also race on the big tracks, the super speedways, Talladega, Michigan, Daytona. They also run road courses, every once in a while a temporary street circuit, and the last couple of years they've kind of rounded it out with a mile on a 1-mile dirt track. Very, very diversified racing series. If you go back through the ARCA record book, you will find the names of numerous Winston Cup stars who got their start in the ARCA Supercar Series. at Killcare Speedway on this Friday night for the Bill Eubank Memorial. Not much has changed. Bobby Bowser still thinking his way through traffic. Frank Kimmel running right in his tire tracks. Bob Schack holding right there at third. And Marvin Smith, I believe, still running fourth in the event at this point. And we've got trouble back in turn number 2. That is the 33 car of Harris Devane that ends up getting turned the wrong way, brings out the caution flag, and he will roll immediately into the pits. I believe there was a second car involved in that, but I did not happen to get the number pulled away too quickly. This caution coming at about the halfway mark, about lap 75. And Bobby Bowser in the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird has led it from the initial drop of the green flag. He started on the pole alongside the 02, the Papa John's Pizza Oldsmobile of Frank Kimmel. Kimmel continues to run second. And the most recent winner on the ARCA Supercar Series, Bob Schack in the Engineered Components Buick, third on the restart. Just saw him go by. Marvin Smith still fourth on the restart. Lead lap cars on the outside, cars one or more laps down on the inside. Pace truck pulls by. Field Motors slowly out of turn number 4. Almost slowly enough to read Hoosier on the side of those tires as they roll by. Green flag flies and they pick it up once again at lap number 79. Better than halfway through the ARCA Supercar 150. The Bill Eubank Memorial at Killcare Speedway for this Friday evening. Field strung out mostly single file once again. Everybody's settling in for the second half of this race. The lead still belongs to the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser, followed by Frank Kimmel, Bob Schack, Marvin Smith. But not for long. Change of position for the second spot. Schack with the low side pass gets underneath the 02 car of Frank Kimmel. Schack now runs in second. Kimmel third. Marvin Smith fourth. Bowser still your leader. Interesting listening to the sound of the cars. You will hear two distinct different types of exhaust notes. Frank Kimmel heading for the pits in the 02 car, the Papa John's Pizza Machine. I believe the tires are gone on Frank Kimmel's 02 car. They've been taking a lot of abuse as he tried to reel in Bobby Bowser for lap after lap after lap. Car finally slid a little bit high going into turn 3. And Bob Schack moved into that second spot. Schack, as you can see, also appears to be catching the leader, the 21 car, the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser. Kimmel back out of the pits and rejoins the fray one lap down. Schack now runs second. And I believe the 11 car of Andy Hillenberg now has moved its way up and is running third. There he goes right there. Hillenberg with a quiet, efficient move up through the field during this 150 lapper. Oh, little contact there coming out of turn 4. Every once in a while, they'll make just a little bit of contact in the ARCA Supercar Series. This is still short track racing, and it is still a contact sport. Bobby Bowser still your leader, but getting increasing pressure from the 75 car of Bob Schack, the Engineered Components Buick. 7 car of Mark Gibson going by. '46 is Bob Hill. See if I can pick out where some of the other cars are running at this point. There's your lead 2. Oh, and look at this. Schack has closed right up on the back bumper of Bobby Bowser's Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird, gaining on him as they head back down into turn number 3. Schack looks on the high side, pulls back in low, trying to get underneath Bowser, coming back out of turn number 4. Lots of pressure, and he gets it done. Shack with the low side pass out of turn number 2. You heard Bowser in our interview earlier in the program talking about the fast way around Killcare Speedway is the low side. If your car could not stay down low, you're going to get passed, and that's probably a bit of self-fulfilled prophecy there. That's exactly what happened. Obviously, the tire's starting to go away on Bobby Bowser's Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird number 21 as well. And Bob Schacht is your new leader. Bowser now runs second. Run 2 going by, long ways back to the car running third. That is the 11 of Andy Hillenberg. You'll notice if you watch Bobby Bowser's car the next time it goes through, especially turns 1 and 2, the car no longer will stay down at the bottom of the racetrack. It's trying to slide further and further up with each passing lap. Bob Schacht. Excellent run. Winner at Five Flag Speedway in the 4th event on the ARCA's Bondo Marhide Supercar Series for 1995, and now leading that next event here at Killcare Speedway. Schacht, Bowser, Hillenberg runs third. I started to say a few minutes ago, it's interesting just to listen to the cars in the ARCA Bondo Marhide Supercar Series. 2 distinct engine types. In this field, in fact, as you listen to them, you will hear V8s, the deep, throaty rumble, if you will, and the higher-pitched, almost snarling sound as they go 3 wide again through turn 2. Oh, and that was a close call for the 75 car. Your leader, Bob Schacht, got caught up on the outside of 2 other cars in turns 1 and 2, but brought it back down on the low side. Oop, little contact there, little love tap. And he keeps right on rolling. V6s, V8s, combination of the 2 in this ARCA Supercar Series field. I believe Schacht running the V8. I believe Bowser was running a V6 this evening. Bob Schacht, the engineered components Buick, is your leader. Then it's Bowser. Then Hillenberg, leader going by. Last year, the ARCA Supercar Series points ended with Bobby Bowser as the champion, Frank Kimmel second, Gary Bradbury third, then Bob Keselowski, Jeff McClure, Bill Venturini, John Wilkinson, Glenn Brewer, Roger Blackstock, and Bob Straits rounded out the top 10 in the 1994 final point standing for the ARCA Bondo Marhide, the Supercar Series. Leader Bob Schacht working his way around traffic on the outside, the 6 car, Perry Tripp. Working on the 13, the J.D. Dankin construction machine of Jody Guerra. Pulls him going down the backstretch into turn number 3. If you hearken back to the interview with Jody Guerra also earlier in the program, he explained that this is not their short track car, it's their super speedway car. And they expected they would have a good deal of difficulty just getting it dialed in and able to run on Killcare's tight confines. That, in fact, is the case, but Jody's making the best of the situation and staying out of trouble, staying out on the racetrack and collecting some laps and collecting some points. The leader is Bob Schacht in the 75 car. The engineered components Buick. Bowser runs second. Andy Hillenberg holding third. And there's trouble. Trouble in turn number 2. The 05 car of Doug Reed, the long Lewis Ford, with the rear end slightly remodeled thanks to the Killcare concrete, and that will take us to a yellow caution flag. Into the pits rolls the 6 car of Perry Tripp. He comes to a stop, but the crew doesn't seem to be in a real big hurry to do anything, which usually means end of night. And now into the pits rolls the 21 car, the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser. We had a feeling Bowser's tires probably were gone, especially when the car slid up the racetrack. And Bob Schacht rolled through on the low side in the 75 car. Crew goes to work. Left side of the car goes up into the air. A little windshield cleaning going on as well. New set of Hoosiers on the left side. Crew rolls around. This will be a 4-tire change for Bowser, and he will go a lap down to the field. 10 car rolling back out of the pits. Glenn Brewer. 4 new tires for the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser. He's out of the pits and rolling back toward the racetrack in the 21 car, but he will be 1 lap down to the leader. The 75 car of Bob Schacht on the restart. Field moving slowly through turns 3 and 4, coming around for the restart. Bob Schacht out at the point. Frank Kimmel in the 0-2, restarting second. Then the 11 car of Andy Hillenberg will restart in the 3rd slot, followed by the 7 car of Mark Gibson. There you see him rolling by Bobby Bowser in the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird. A lap down to the leaders. Just about lap 105 at this point. 45 laps to go. Bowser rolls by. Glenn Brewer. Green flag, and we pick it up right there about lap 110. Marvin Smith still in the fight on the Riverside Auto Parts number 1. But out front, it is still the 75 car of Bob Schacht and the 0-2 of Frank Kimmel, the Engineered Components Buick, and the Papa John's Pizza Oldsmobile. Kimmel, new tires, low side pass. That puts him back on the lead lap now. The leader is still the 75 car Bob Schacht, but the 0-2 Frank Kimmel now has his lap back. Second is the 11 car Andy Hillenberg. Whoa, close call there coming out of turn 4. Somebody almost got pinched off into the wall. Bowser, lots of traffic to work on. And obviously, he'll try to move back toward the front. The question is, does he have enough laps to get it done? 3 wide back into turn number 1. On the outside was a Hillenberg in the 11 car. Hillenberg running second. Bowser now trying to reel back in the 75 car of Bob Schacht and unlap himself. Bowser going a lap down with a 4-tire change in the pits just a few laps ago. Car obviously much faster than it was before Bowser went in for those 4 new tires. Leader not yet in sight. Bowser will next work on the 13 car of Jody Guerra. Works around him, going back into turn number 1. Next in line, it'll be the 1 car, Marvin Smith, in the Riverside Auto Parts Chevrolet. And you just got a glimpse of him, the leader about 10 car lengths ahead. The 75 car of Bob Schacht. Bowser working his way around Marvin Smith. The next target for Bobby Bowser right there in front of him. The 75 car of Bob Schacht. Low side pass. Bowser doing the exact same thing in the same place, in fact, that Schacht did to him, to get back on the lead lap once again. Bowser back on the lead lap. Next question is, can Bowser still find his way back around the Schacht one more time to move back into first? Bowser just unlapping himself with that move, and he is back now on the lead lap. Leader is still car number 75, Bob Schacht, from Chapin, South Carolina, in the Engineered Components Buick. sweeping in on Frank Kimmel. Right on the back bumper. They both get around a slower car on the low side going down the backstretch into turn number 3. Kimmel, Bowser. That is a battle for position at this point. Both cars now back on the lead lap, and there's Bowser moving around the outside back into turn number 3. Quality Farm Fleet Thunderbird moving back around the Papa John's Pizza Oldsmobile. Later still, Bob Schacht. Marvin Smith runs second. And there's trouble. Right out of turn number 4, we've got a car spun out and stopped on the low side of the racetrack. Just about at the exit from the pit area, back onto the racing surface. We get that taken care of. We stay green and we keep rolling. The inaugural Bill Eubank Memorial 150. Oh, somebody way up high. The 57 car of John Stratman having some handling problems at Kilcare's notorious turn number 4. Frank Kimmel 02, Papa John's Pizza Machine. And just in the frame for a second, you saw the Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird of Bobby Bowser trying to work his way back up through the field once again. Bowser, without a doubt, the strongest car in the place, at least when the tires are fresh. Perhaps set up for the longer pull. Schacht in the Engineered Components Buick. He is still on the tires he started this 150 lapper with. Bowser, low side pass on the 33 of Harris Devane. Down the backstretch once again. Moving in underneath the 7 car of Mark Gibson. Right behind the 6 machine of Perry Tripp. Follows Tripp 2 turns 1 and 2. Down low through the backstretch. Picks up that spot and continues to move back toward the front. And it was about this point in the proceedings that the crowd sensed maybe something was about to happen again. Last July, Bowser fought his way back from a lap down, took the lead on a dramatic last lap pass that led to an emotional scene in Victory Lane last July. And to borrow an old Yogi Berra-ism, it was like deja vu all over again as this race continued to unfold. The question was, at this point, the laps were getting short. Did Bowser have enough time, enough laps to work his way back up through the field to try to find Bob Schacht in that Engineered Components number 75? Only time would tell, and the laps were still clicking by for the ARCA Supercar 150. Frank Kimmel working his way around the 7 car of Mark Gibson. As Bowser finds the 11 car of Andy Hillenberg. Hillenberg running second now. Bowser back to the 2nd spot. Hillenberg to 3rd. The lead still belonged to the 75 car and Bob Schacht. Hillenberg dropping back behind Bowser. Bowser tries to work his way around the 10 of Glenn Brewer. Moves up right behind the 05 of Doug Reed. Moves around Reed on the low side down the backstretch. Back into turns 3 and 4. Just moving around Garrett. Frank Kimmel in the 02. Bowser once again. The lead still belonged at this point to the 75 car and Bob Schacht, the Engineered Components Buick. Trouble. At the end of the backstretch going into turn number 3, the 7 car involved. That's Mark Gibson. And He is still stopped. Also the 57 car of John Strappin from Strongsville, Ohio. The BFI Recycle Now Ford. Caution on the racetrack for that spin going into turn number 4. Now, by the ARCA racing rules, races do not end under yellow flags. The race is extended essentially lap by lap so that there is at least 3 green flag laps before the checkered flag. So instead of being 150 laps, we could go a few more. And look what happens here. On the restart, it will be Bob Schacht in the Engineered Components Buick. Right on his tailpipe, Bobby Bowser in the Quality Farm and Fleet number 21. Then the 9 car of Eric Smith, the Southern Motorsports Ford, with a good, strong run. 4th on the restart will be Andy Hillenberg in the Fast Track Chevrolet. Bowser now with Schacht directly in front of him. No lap traffic in the way. And the crowd at this point was definitely sensing that maybe Bowser could make it 2 in a row at Kare Speedway. Green flag, and they were on it big time, and it didn't take long. Bowser underneath Schacht, fights his way back from a lap down and picks up the lead. The Quality Farm and Fleet Thunderbird started this one in front. Just may end this one in front. Schacht fading fast. The tires on the 75 car, the Engineered Components Buick, toasted. But we got one more caution first. Late race spin going into turn number 1. A little bit of damage on the back of the 05 car of Doug Reed from Hueytown, Alabama. And once again, the race extended for a few more laps so that it can end under green flag racing. And by this point, the crowd knew that unless disaster struck Bobby Bowser in the next few laps, he was going to take back-to-back wins at Kare Speedway, winning the July race 1 year ago, and coming into this event, he really needed a victory. 7th in the points. The season had not gone well for Bowser up to now, and he really wanted to come back home, as it were. A little home cooking, maybe. Little home track advantage. But he definitely was the fastest car in the joint this evening. Won his heat race, by the way, earlier this evening. ARCA cars qualifying through a time trial and heat process for the 28 starting spots in the Bill Eubank Memorial 150. Bowser, your leader, followed by the 9 car of Eric Smith, the 02 of Frank Kimmel, and the 11 of Andy Hillenberg. There's the checkered flag, and Bobby Bowser has taken his 2nd in a row at Kare Speedway, winning the inaugural edition of the Bill Eubank Memorial 150. Started on the pole, set fast qualifying time, won his heat, started the 150 lap feature on the pole, and comes home with the checkered flag as well. Good strong run for Eric Smith to take the 2nd spot. Andy Hillenberg as well. Watch out for Hillenberg as the season continues. Guy who's made the move from the dirt track world of sprint cars to the asphalt world of the ARCA Supercars, and doing it very, very well. Bob Schacht finishing in the 4th spot in the Engineered Components Buick. Then Frank Kimmel in the 02, the Papa John's Pizza Olds. Ed Dixon, Dill Whittemore, Mark Gibson, Chet Blanton. And rounding out the top 10, Harry Tripp from Fredericktown, Missouri. And I got to tell you, I was already down there on track as the cars went by, because by the size of the crowd that was headed toward the gate that extends under the flagman stand, I knew that if I didn't get down there early, I wasn't going to get there at all. Victory celebration already underway. There's your top four: Bowser, Smith, Schacht, Hillenberg. Points after the ARCA Supercar 150 at Killcare Speedway. Hillenberg still the points leader. Schacht second in points, followed by Bobby Bowser now at 12:35, 120 points behind the points leader, Andy Hillenberg.
Memorial 150 Supercar win. Big hug. Big couple of hugs. And I'll wait my turn back here. In victory lane. Come here, young lady. One each large trophy. Got to get the head out. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, I tell you. It's a good race, I tell you. We was coming back one way or the other. And we needed a caution. There was no doubt about it, but I was going to try to do it anyways. It'd have been close, but it was a good race, and this is for Bill Eubank, and, you know, we miss him.
This one just became a good luck charm?
I think so. After Daytona, I said I was going to have to start putting her in the car because Dad won't get the job done, so I think I got my job for a while.
When you pulled in for tires at about lap 102, I think it was, 4 tires back out, you were a lap down. Did you think you had enough time, enough laps yet?
It was close, as you can see, the way we was driving. We was going all for it. We was going to try to do it. It'd been close, but we needed the caution.
Congratulations on a great win, Bobby.
Thank you very much.
Your winner for the inaugural Bill Eubank ARCA Supercar 150, Bobby Bowser.